fact, I mean, you're famous for the cards, aren't you? Which
Yeah.
is, in a sense, the same thing. Where are they?
On the corner there.
No way.
Yeah.
May I? Can I?
Sure, yeah.
I mean, this is all about shaking it up, isn't it? It's about making oblique strategies, discover the recipes you are using, and abandon them.
There you go. So that's not what a computer would do. A computer would discover the recipes you're using and keep doing them again and again.
Yeah, yeah. Do you said yes, the cards are over there. Do you still use these cards when you're working?
Yeah, I do. They're useful.
Are they?
I'm working alone a lot of the time.
Yeah.
If you're working with other people, you get a lot of information and derailment from the fact that there are other people there. But if you're working alone, you can very easily get into a rut, and where you're just sort of routinely doing the same things over and over, going to the same instruments.
I would imagine even as a group of people that happens, especially if
Well,
it's
yes.
a tight group that
Yes.
works together a lot.
Yes, that's right. Well, that's why people have producers.
Yeah. Work at a different speed.
Yeah, that's a useful one. So that can mean a lot of different things. That can mean changing the speed here, but it also can mean do things at a different speed.
Almost
like
without
work
thinking
very,
about-
very quickly, or work very, very slowly.
Yeah.
You know, take a minute to get to that guitar, pick it up, put it on, plug it in.
So
Just take a long time doing something.
when you came up with these, I mean, I don't know the process with which you came up with these. Did you sit down one day and think, I know all the, write them down, or did you like write them over 10 years, or what happened?
It started out with noticing that when I was working in the studio, when I was in Roxy actually, we were under a lot of pressure because we had a small budget, and under pressure you forget all your best ideas quite often. So under pressure you sort of get into a rut and you think, I've got to get finished, and the panic sort of pushes away your observation. You're not really paying attention to what's going on. You're panicking basically. So the first one I ever wrote said, honour thy error as a hidden intention, because so often I noticed listening to recordings of gigs and so on, it was sometimes the mistakes were really interesting, but you don't notice it in the anxiety of the moment. So I just made that rule, and I used to put it up on the mixing desk, honour thy error as a hidden intention, just to remind myself that if something went wrong, don't immediately chuck it out. Just for a moment, give it a listen and see whether there's something interesting about it. After I wrote that first one, I then added about another dozen or so, and then I had a list, but the list didn't work so well, because what you tend to do if there's a list, you just take the one that's most convenient. You know, the one that most lets you carry on doing exactly what you're already doing. So I thought they should be on cards, and I should just pull a card out. So,
Brian, what would your closest friend do?
Well, this is also interesting, because you have to think, who is my closest friend? And that can be quite disorientating in the middle of a working day. I like that one because it takes you out of your own head, and you start to... It's like when you play something for a friend and you're immediately hearing what they're hearing, not what you're hearing anymore, and you suddenly think, oh God, that's too loud. Ooh, this bit's a bit dull, and so on. You're suddenly critical in quite a different way when you're in somebody else's head. So that's a way of putting yourself in somebody else's head.